decision. Where do you want to go? And finally, you will have a choice in your text at the surface level of the text.
And this is something everybody in the room already knows how to do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah. So we've all, if we couldn't read these texts, we couldn't communicate with each other on some level or another.
What do you mean?
If, my example from the other night, movie, the mise en scène, when you go to a movie, there's, an establishing shot that generally gets it going, and it tells you just tons of information you need to make sense of the movie, to know what kind of movie it is, to know the characters, to know, something about their socioeconomic status, what the weather, everything tells you something. And we're all already adept at reading these texts, whether we're aware of it or not.
Yeah, a guy standing in the second floor window looking out at the street below, a little boy goes bouncing the ball around, the guy's smiling ear to ear. He's a nice guy, he likes little boys, bouncing the ball, and that's sweet. Garbage truck hits the kid, guy's still smiling, all of a sudden he's a lunatic, and we read it, we know how to read it.
Yes, because as I mentioned, we are ready to do this sort of opposition. When we were looking at the images of the shots, for major differences, which is to say this shot and this shot, you actually do not need any specific training to discriminate. Because we are differential beings. We look at the word and we look at differences mainly, things that get meaning because they are opposed somehow. The point is that it might be that some details in the way we read movies intuitively might be out of our capability to see that a difference is there. But you are definitely right. I'm not telling you that this is to mean that literacy is giving sense. And we do that, I would say almost automatically, because we are biologically ready to make distinction, to look at differences of between objects. But sometimes those differences are not so clear to us, and that is the way semiotics can actually improve, and semiotic approach can actually improve our sensibility to this discriminating capability. Yeah, but definitely.
So this is something we all do, and we can do better.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's very clear.
I have a very serious question. How do the board fit in with your theory? Cubicle shape.
The Borg. Well, remember that I said that the inside-outside issue actually was slightly lost in the other series. And as a matter of fact, except for the station itself, which is rather round, but if we look at the starships, there are starships, for instance, the Defiant is no more exactly round. It has a more triangular shape. And the Borg cube is actually stating that, this is a serious problem because we have round starships for the Federation, we have oblong starships for the Klingons, and as a matter of fact, also the Romulans starships didn't share the roundness of Federation. Now the Borgs are a serious problem for everybody, not only for the Federation. It might be that it is, again, in a contrastive way, in a differential way, something that brings a completely new idea of starship, which is actually, if you think of it, extremely new for whatever vehicle we can think of. Have you ever thought? We have a car in Italy which is more or less like a cube. The Panda started like that. It was more, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it might not surprise an Italian to have a Starship cube shaped, but I guess that most of the people would be extremely surprised and would detect, okay, here we have something extremely different. On the meanings, I haven't studied, I have to admit that I haven't studied the possible overimposed meanings of the cube. Do you have any idea, any clue?
I will go, that's why
I will, okay, I will come.
A challenge.
Well, it was partially a stamp for the uniformity, you can fit cubes inside cubes.
It might be. We should test it. But think, and you know what? I guess that you might be right, but not from the cube, but from the fact that the real core of a cube is actually a perfect sphere. Because if I socially speaking, and that's why I was telling you that there are a lot of social conventions. If I have to think of cultural conventions, and if I wanted to look for uniformity, something that is always the same from whatever side you look at, I would take a sphere.
It was a little bit, that's
Probably it was the Black Death in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Probably it was for that. But yeah, it could also be.
You're right, even beehives are rounded shape.
Yeah.
The cells are rounded.
We must study it. We can create a group of study on the boards, cubes, but